US foreign policy right now is to try and treat these resource-rich countries as their gas stations. They want to totally take away any kind of autonomy, any kind of political ideology to the country's governing apparatus and say, like, you will be the pliant vessels for US geopolitical interests and power and capital.
I mean, Syria at the moment is reaping pretty significant dividends from that. The speculation that I saw from certain, I mean, even respected Syria analysts before Assad fell was that even if the government were to collapse, that any opposition administration would still face this uphill battle of getting all of these Caesar Act sanctions removed. And the economy was still going to be under the boot of American sanctions for a very long time. And I think I was surprised, and many other people were surprised by how, as soon as it turned out that they were going to be friendly to the Americans, all of that stuff went away. Yeah. All of the fears about bureaucratic suffocation, of economic strife that's going to continue for years to come, no, all of that went away. I don't know how long it's going to go on for. I mean, you've been talking about wanting a much more pliant state, and I'm sure they want someone other than Jolani if they could have him. Yeah. But no. This is paying off for them, at least for the current moment.
Yeah, it just like goes to show that if you are an opposition movement that has the backing of the United States against a government, your ideology or whatever you think your ideology is, or your cause of freedom and liberation, it just doesn't mean shit. The US does not give a fuck about the ideology of your revolutionary program, and it doesn't even feel like it has to pretend to anymore. And so we're seeing this with Iran too, right? The game is not even among the opposition to come up with, if we're talking about the monarchists, like not even to come up with a persuasive ideological program that sells the masses on it. It's really just who can kiss up to the Americans more, who can be the most supplicant, because like those are the people who understand how power works now, that it's not about persuasion. It is about relationships, that we are just really shifting into I hate to be overly dramatic, but what feels like a post-ideological world. And that just seems to be the case across the board.
This is a good segue into, I think, our last topic, because I did see something with how people were talking about the recent Jeffrey Epstein leaks, in that the commonality with all of these new relationships with America is that they all want a piece of the pie more than anything else. They don't care about sovereignty. They don't care about actual fundamental societal change. They just want some of that wealth and a lot of that impunity that America could potentially offer them. And what was interesting to me is that I think Matthew Petty, who is an editor at Reason magazine, shout out to him on his nuptials, he posted about how supporters of Narendra Modi and supporters of Somaliland were talking about the fact that they were either enemy politicians or their own country was talked about in the Epstein files. It was evidence of the fact that because they were Epstein cared about them, that means that they were close to power. And if they're close to power, that means that they're successful.
Wow.
Let me just, I have it right here. This is from the account Somaliland World. Across the Epstein files, Somaliland is mentioned 52 times, consistently in the context of security cooperation, strategic partnerships, development initiatives, and recognition of the Republic of Somaliland for the benefit of U.S. interests and international stability. And then they've literally made a promotional Instagram graphic bragging that Somaliland mentioned 52 times.
Oh my God.